Brian, SPD's assistant police chief, told us in a press conference that the department had been receiving anecdotal reports of people being charged a fee to come and go in and out of that portion of Capitol Hill neighborhood. Now, the department would not elaborate concerning how many reports they'd received, nor would they offer any further information, including from the Public Affairs Office. And the number of business owners that we talked to told us they hadn't seen or heard of anything happening like this, but they did tell us that the protests seem peaceful. For so-called autonomous zones, Seattle's Capitol Hill neighborhood looks pretty calm.
They're starting to break down some of the aid stations on this block.
This gym owner says protesters have been friendly and peaceful, and life on the Hill has been quiet.
Most of our members live real close to here, and they were like, that was the first good night of sleep I got all in a week.
Protesters are throwing things back.
This was the last time Seattle police and protesters engaged. Afterwards, SPD boarded up the East Precinct, they say, to calm tension and give protesters room to march. What's left is what some call Free Capitol Hill, as the city closed a number of public streets. But the business owner doesn't think it'll last for long.
The autonomous zone isn't going to last. I think it's interesting. It's not going to last.
SPD says they want to come to an agreement with protesters so officers can return to the precinct because service right now is cut back.
Right now, we are on priority calls only, which means that people citywide that need a police response are not receiving it. And that to us is just not acceptable.
SPD says the department received reports that business owners and neighbors are being stopped for ID checks at blockades, sometimes by those with firearms. SPD also reminded protesters who might be armed they should exercise restraint and avoid raising concern amongst neighbors.
While they have a constitutionally protected right to bear arms, and while Washington is an open carry state, there is no legal right for those arms to be used to intimidate community members.
So the department said, look, if anybody out there on Capitol Hill feels like they've been extorted or feel like they've been threatened with anyone with a weapon or even a firearm, they want you to call 911. Steve Kiggins, Q13 News.
All right, Steve, thank you. Amanda